Okay, today we're going to be unboxing this. I needed a belt sander. I didn't want to spend a lot of money, so actually I may have made a mistake here. I have bought the cheapest belt sander I could find. So it's a disc and belt combination sander by Erbauer, which I got from Screwfix. This is not a sponsored video, by the way. I bought this with my own funds, but I didn't have a lot of money to spend. So let's see if buying the cheapest model I could find has been a good or bad idea. I'll get this out of the box and we'll take a look at it. Okay, so we get at least one disc, an instruction manual, and some parts. Okay, now interestingly, two of the rubber corner feet off of this device were kind of fused into the polystyrene of the packaging, which I assume means this came straight off the production line, possibly a little bit too hot, and went straight into the box. Anyway, let's fit those back on. Those look like the sort of things that are going to fall off rather easily. So if I'm carting this around, which I'm going to have to do because I don't have a permanent place to set it up, I imagine I'm probably going to end up losing these. Anyway, so there's the machine. I haven't read the instructions yet, but it comes with the belt already fitted. And yeah, I guess we're just going to have a look at the instructions. We're going to fit the other little pieces. There is the table there, which I assume goes on there somehow. And that, I think, is a guard that goes on a fence or something that goes on there. But anyway, we're going to read the instructions and get it put together properly. It is interesting that it came with the belt already fitted but not the disc. Not really sure what the reason for that might be. That's interesting. It's let me let's cross that thread in there. Quality of manufacture of these. Let's just have a look at that. Okay, these screws just go into little threaded tabs there, and that one there, the thread I think might have been crossed at the factory. So yeah, that's been screwed in there once on the cross thread, which is a bit of a disappointment. That's not terribly high quality there. Those threads are going to strip out after a few uses, and then this guard will not fit on there anymore, at least not using that method. So that's a weakness, I guess. So, attach the work table. Okay, so the work table just fits onto this bit here. Where's this go on? This is a disappointment. It looks as if the box has been dropped at some point and the plug is smashed. So I'm going to go back to Screwfix and get them to give me a new plug, I think. Okay, so we've got it fully assembled. I'm just going to quickly use it to try to grind two flat surfaces on this piece of slate, which I'm going to use for a project. Pretty good. Okay. So initial thoughts on this budget-conscious belt and disc sander. It did an okay job of sanding flat. So this is a piece of slate, quite a soft material obviously, but that's sanded down okay. It did a good job. It seems robust enough in most respects. I do have a few little worries. This table is just attached to the plastic cover of this disc here. It's attached to the metal on the sides here, but there's a support bracket underneath which fixes directly onto the plastic. I have a feeling that that's going to be a problem in the future, because I think actually a few times on and off with this cover we're going to start to find that that works loose, because the screw threads inside there are pretty poor. It's obviously a cheap machine, so it's not going to stand up to long-term heavy use, I don't think, in the same way that a more expensive one might. However, I think probably if you're going to want something that is going to stand up to long-term heavier use, you're probably going to have to go quite a way up the market, because I suspect that a lot of the budget machines are all based on the same pressings and castings anyway. So actually, even if you buy something that's maybe twice this price, you're probably getting pretty much the same machine. One thing I probably should have mentioned is that this piece is tiltable here, so you can have that vertical or horizontal. There's a screw that you need to tighten or loosen to actually make that come up and down. So there's very little risk in buying a cheap machine like this, very little financial risk. So I think we'll just test it out on some future projects, and you might see this in use in some of my other videos. So I hope that's been useful. That's just really my first impressions of this machine after the unboxing. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.